Yeah, so the mid-year change means that something changed in the member's profile outside of the renewal cycle.
But
It's
they had
just a
just
notification.
registered themselves.
They registered as a member, or they registered for the event?
They registered as for themselves as a agency primary.
Yeah, that's probably the notification to the admins that somebody was added to the agency. Or yeah, something changed in their profile outside of them signing up. So maybe they went back in and they added something or changed something within their profile, but it's basically just a notification
Okay.
that something changed in that member's profile.
Okay. So then but how do we confirm that we're getting notified that they added additional people to their agency, that they added secondaries?
Okay, let me take a look. It should be, if we go to people options, there's a couple of places we have to check.
Okay.
So, notify membership director after new member sign up, but before payment. And then we're going to check, I just wanted to check one more thing here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to chapter and then titles, and we're going to see that membership director here in this column is associated with your title of membership chair. So members at ippa.nigp.org is the email address. And then if we go to contact us, we can see that membership chair is Karen's server, and we're using that member's email address. So those notifications will be going to that email address.
Okay. Can we add additional
And that
people?
email address is going to
Right.
Karen's server and JM Nasby.
Yeah, that JM Nasby did not receive it. Is there supposed to be like a space in there or something else?
No, chances are good though. Then maybe that email is getting blocked for whatever reason, or it's just not getting through their firewall.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no. So this is June. I'm here too.
Hi, June.
I've been receiving all the others.
Yep.
But this one.
Yeah, chances are good it's because of that it's not making it through the firewall, or it's not making it, ending up in spam or whatever, because system emails go out differently than like email blasts and things like that.
Right, but I've been getting all the others.
I get that.
Yeah.
But these go out differently, so they may still get caught up in, I would check just to see, with dmgov.org, and find out if they truly are putting all of them through, or some are getting flagged.
Well, I get a spam folder. I have a spam folder, and it tells us if there's something caught there.
I will trace it. I need to know the last time that one was sent. I'm not going to do it while I'm on the phone here, or on this call, but I will trace it and see if I can find out. All I can do is trace it to your servers, though. If your servers have accepted it, after that, I have no control over its deliverability. So,
because I got the email when the primary was added, but when she added the additional members, I didn't get an email.
Okay. And what was the date?
That would have been June 6th.
Okay.
That all your questions, Amanda? Did you have another one?
I'm just taking some notes here.
Yep.
Give me a minute.
Yep.
IPPA. Okay. Yeah, there. I'll look into that when we get off the call, and then I'll shoot you an email and let you know what I find.
Thank you.
Yep.
Kaliska, you have your hand up.
Yes. So Kaliska with Oregon Public Purchasing. And
Okay.
I just have a quick question. When we're about to open our sponsorship for our fall conference back open again, so that sponsors can register to sponsor it. And I would love to we have, for lack of a better word, we'll just say terms and conditions for them once they sign up. And I would love to be able to put those into a space to where when they click and pay for the sponsorship, that they're agreeing to those terms and conditions. Is there a place that I can do that?
They're kind of no, kind of yes, and kind of no. It
Okay.
depends on where you're doing it looks like you're not using the storefront module. So you're doing it through an event, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the event, it's a little bit easier. In the event, we call it waivers internally, but you're going to
Okay.
call it what was the date of the event that you want to do this for?
We haven't created it yet, but it's basically our 2024 sponsorship.
That's fine. We're
I'm
going to
just
use
gonna
this one as
open
an
it again.
example.
Yeah, let's use that.
So I believe it's here it is. It's under policy,
Okay.
and you go down to release agreement, and you'll say yes, that it's required, and you're going to enable it, and you're going to say use a custom agreement, and then this is where you're going to put the agreement text.
Okay, and is there a limit on text that you can put in there? Like 500 characters or anything? Do we know?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
You can make it pretty big, so I don't know.
Okay. No worries. I will use that. I appreciate your help. Thank
Sure.
you.
Yep. Glad to do it.
Lisa, you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. Thanks. We are in the process of updating ours. Oh, Georgia chapter.
Okay.
And all of our forms, be it volunteer form, be it membership form, be it whatever, is all PDFs. So I would like to just, in general, how do I create a site or all of our forms to be online so that the members just have to fill out a
membership.
text.
Membership you don't want online,
Right.
because that's different. But any other forms, you're going to go into communications, and you're
Okay.
going to, in this case, you have to enable it. So go to configure, click on ad hoc forms,
Okay.
make it active. And then now you have a new module here called ad hoc forms. So you're going to create it there.
Thank you. That was
Yeah.
easy.
You're welcome.
Alrighty.
Valerie, you have your hand up?
I do. Hi.
Hello.
It's been a few minutes since I've talked to y'all. All right. It's time for me to work on my annual fall conference. And I have a question with regard to registration, because for some reason it didn't work last year, although I thought I did it accurately. What we have set up is an early bird situation. If they register between X date and end date, they can get $25 off. How can I do this? Because when I go into the registration and fees, I know I've clicked in there. So this is Valerie from Michigan Public Purchasing Officers Association.
MPPA, what was it?
MPPOA. Yeah.
MPPA. Oh, I have an A in there. Oh, yeah.
They,
Are your certificates are expiring, huh?
I don't know. What do we have to do?
Oh, that's Madison. That's different.
No.
Michigan. PPOA.net. Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's us.
I'm not going to worry about Madison. They're not on our platform. Okay.
What?
So if we go into the event.
Right. And you can search us down a little bit, but it's 2024 Annual Fall Conference. It's
This one right here, 10.2.
No, down. Keep going down.
Oh, keep going down. Sorry.
There you go. Up,
Oh, there it
you
is.
go. Yep.
Okay. Single activity event. Okay. So if we go into registration and fees and click the does fee change at a certain date? It's going to be 8/12. That's correct. And then when we go to who can register,
Yeah.
we're going to say, let's say active members, and the fee before the date's going to be $5. After that, it's going to be $10.
Oh, there's a late fee.
You know
Okay.
what? You can change what that's called under basic information. I believe, well, no, actually, I think it's under, if we go to events and go to the event manager, configure event defaults. There is we can call it whatever we want. And right here, it's called late fee. So what we want to maybe call it is date change fee or price change fee, or I don't know, change fee.
Yeah, or standard fee.
Standard fee. Okay.
Yeah, because if they go for the first, it's really actually early bird.
It is, but that's the one that's going to be seen by most people.
Correct.
Like if it doesn't have a fee change, they're going to see the first one in the matrix. See how it says label for first price in the matrix?
So they're only going to see the first price until that date, and then it's going to flip over to the standard fee on the other date. Is that what happens?
Except on the very first page of the event, the registration page, where you click the button that says register now, down at the bottom, it's going to list the fees, and it's going to say,
which is fine,
fee as of this date, but after this date, it's this, it's the standard fee or whatever you want to call it. So
which is
we can call it standard fee. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, they're getting a discount if they do it early. Basically.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
So
then
if we
here's
go back to the event now and we click on the eyeball, then we can see, oh, I didn't save my changes. So if I go to who can register, and I save it, boom, go back to the event. Now I can see active members, $5 fee as of 8/12, $10.
All right. So then here's another question I have. We've got a couple of situations, or we have a situation where members register, this is the fee. Can I set up a line if a member wants to bring a guest and a member with a guest and then charge them a different fee? Because
of course
we tried doing guest fee separates, and people were getting so confused last year, and it was bad.
So with this, what we do is if the member's bringing a guest, we have to determine what level of guest it is. If it's another person in your membership, it's one thing. If it's another member, then it's another thing. If it's a non-member, then it's a different.
Be a non-member.
Okay,
I mean,
so
we're not going to let members bring member guests because they still got to pay full price, so it doesn't matter.
So yeah, and you can have completely different pricing for them. So I'm going to say, member, guest, and non-member,
and then for the display name, we could say member attending with guest for banquet or whatever, or right.
Member, guest, banquet. You don't want to have too many words, but yeah.
Yeah.
Banquet.
Well, they're going to think, yeah. I mean, I'll come up with something that works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, come up with whatever for yourself. And then, so we save it, and it takes a minute to save. It's actually doing an awful lot of database work in the back end. That's why it takes a bit. But yeah, once it's freed up here.
All right. It's thinking still.
Yeah. It happens every time we get on one of these calls, doesn't it? Okay, now if we go back to the event, now we can see member, guest, banquet, $7, $14. And if we go to register now, and I'm not going to complete it, but I'm just going to grab somebody here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, Scott.
Hi, Joe.
Oh, you know what? We didn't set it up. We skipped a step here.
Oh, okay.
We have to enable it for guests. Right now, we're not allowing any guests. So we have to determine how many guests we're going to allow a single registrant to bring with them. So I might say 2.
Sure. That sounds good.
And then if I go back to the event,
but okay.
So now I'll sign up a member. And I'm just going to grab one here. And I'm going to say, well, Scott's going to bring a guest. And now I can see active members $5, member guest $7 for the banquet. That make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Look that convinced.
Yeah.
Well, I think we tried that last year and everybody, they still were so confused about it, but I'm going to give it a go again. Because the active member is going to be, I was just wondering if there was a way to roll them in together so that you would have the active member and their guest. And I want to charge, so let's say I'm charging $300 for just the member, but if they bring a guest, it's going to be $350.
Yeah, that's the way it's going to work. So as we proceed through this, and again, who's the guest? I'm going to say it's Michael. He's going to take me as a guest.
Okay.
And when we get to the confirmation page, he's going to pay $12 here.
All
Because
right.
of
So,
$5.07.
we would still do, but the 300 for the member and the 500 or the $50 for the guest.
For the banquet
Okay.
only. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. If you saved that for me, I'm going to use that as my template.
Okay, and it's on your event, so it's already saved in your event.
Thank you.
It's a book similar to that. Let's see, it's a business sales book.
Excuse me, if
is
you're,
it called Mama's Way or How Mama
not
Talks or something like that?
speaking.
That basically it tells
Okay. All right, sorry.
Okay.
Mute. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have a question, Michael. You whipped through how to edit the labels. Could you show
yeah.
where we do that again, just so, because I think that's something of interest.
Yeah, it's under registry or under who can register. Oh, which labels are we talking about?
Under the configure, you know how you changed
Got it.
the standard reg?
Yep. So we're gonna go, if we go into events, and there's multiple ways to get to the events manager. You can go through control panel and then go to website and then click on events, and you get to the same place. Or if you happen to be looking at the calendar, you can click on this gray slide out, click edit, and it also takes you to the events manager. So multiple ways to get there. All roads lead to the events manager. Click on configure and go down to event defaults. And there's actually a lot of stuff in here that you can configure. Like if you want to put in your policy, you can put in your, the policy that we just showed in the previous question. You can put in your cancellation policy text and says, well, if you cancel the event, it's your tough luck. You can put in, what you want to call an event contact. In this case, by default, it's event contact, but you might want to say, the fun wizard or whatever you want to call them. You can put in the feed labels. You can put in a default for wait list information, how many guests are allowed by default. There's a lot of things that you can set within this thing. And what I would highly recommend that everybody does is go in here and change the information that you want to collect on non-members. I would absolutely make emails required and possibly even phone numbers required for non-members. I think that's incredibly important that you collect that information. And because of who you guys are, you might want to also make the company name required. So that, if I'm bringing a guest and it's a non-member, this is an opportunity for you to market and add them to your mailing list and maybe expand your membership.
Great, thank you. Ginny, you have your hand up.
Hi, good morning,
Hi.
NIGP. Good morning, Michael and Ronnie. So first question, when you get there.
What was your domain again?
NIGP.org, Washington State.
Yeah. Washington State. Is it WANIGP?
NIGP. Yep.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, so under education and events, whenever you're in there, I had created a custom page and I noticed the title, Mike Purdy last video, was not what I intended to do. And I was trying to figure out, because here's the, new name of Lunch and Learn Session Library, Video Library, but I just couldn't change it. And I don't know what's going on. Something embedded in there?
Yeah, you go to control panel, go to the website tab, and then custom pages.
Yep, I was there.
And we're going to search, and it was called, here's the Lunch and Learn Video Library. And if we click the blue handled wrench, right here, it says Mike Purdy last video.
Oh, okay. That's where it is.
You're going to change it to Lunch and Learn. Yeah.
Okay, that's easy. Thank you. Thank you.
Marina.
Oh, we
hand
ran out of.
So that, oh, sorry, I did have one more question.
Oh, so sorry. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Okay, thank you for that, Michael. I appreciate that. So the fact that you had the page and the title, are you saying best practices, make sure you try to match that so that is that a tip?
Well, are you talking about here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Is
it kind of makes sense because the person editing the page is going to have a tough time knowing what page to edit if they aren't close.
Okay.
You know, if they're
Okay.
completely different, then someone's going to be looking for the Mike Purdy page, and it's not listed here with all the other pages, so they have no idea which one to edit.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Okay,
Sure.
next question. We are really trying to utilize the survey. Is that
yeah.
something you could do a quick sample of? Thank you.
Okay.
I tried.
So,
I tried. So there's a test in there.
so this is I'm going to re-enable this so we can take a look here.
Sure.
Cannot activate, the date has passed. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we take a look, basically you click on the question marks, and this is your questions where you set them up. And you can set them up with multiple pages. So if you want to add a second page, I'll just call it page 2 for ease, and then you can add a question. And we add it to page 2. So this is a completely different topic. You know, so you kind of organize things by topic. This is a different question altogether. Okay, and so now when you go through and you take a look at, you know, click on the eyeball, you can go, oh, it's not available. Why is it not available? Did we define attachments maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, what, really? Oh, it's because I'm not a member of the committee. I'm going to say all site users for
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Okay. And if I click on the eyeball, do you wish your sponsor report is anonymous? I'll say no. My favorite reindeer is Rudolph. Rodolfo.
Yeah, it could be Rodolfo.
The Italian
Okay.
in here.
Yeah, right.
And then this is a different
Okay.
question altogether.
So we have to do multiple pages in order to do the
You don't
question.
have
It can't
to.
just be one. Okay.
You can have one page. In fact, a large majority of our surveys are one page. But
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
if you look at some really well crafted and sometimes painfully crafted surveys, they have pages and pages and pages, and you've got scale questions, and you've got all these other, you know, different things like, you know, how do you feel about this? You know, I like it, I mostly like it, I really don't like it. You know, you can do all of those things, but they're typically on different pages, you know, and you go next, next, next to get to each additional group of questions.
Okay, great. That's super helpful. The last thing I want to ask is about the event page. So I created one, but I
Like
don't
this?
think I was able to leave it as a draft because I think I only had active as the button, but how do we save a draft, I suppose?
Was it an event itself, or was it?
It was an event. I did end up just deleting it because I didn't want it activated, but it was like I was trying to do a save the date for a fall conference.
So there's a save the date, I think, is handy if you just do a notification. A notification is
okay.
really just like a calendar entry it'll appear on the calendar, and you can say save the date, you know, our conference is coming, blah, blah, blah. If you want, you could do an event, and just don't set it up for registration. And that would kind of serves as a save the date, but it's on the calendar. And then when you're ready,
Right.
you can go in and you can configure the registration in pieces and allow people to begin registering.
Okay, I did label it not open for registration, but it still, like, I went out and pretended to be a member and it looked like it still allowed me, so I got scared. So I'm like, you know
Yeah,
what?
so
I'm just gonna get rid of it.
yeah, so what you'll want to do, and I'm going to do it for this board meeting here,
Sure.
I'm going to enable registration fees and attendance tracking.
Oh,
And I'm going to
Okay.
go here, and where it says registration at the very top, I'm going to say closed. Or temporarily unavailable. Either one, temporarily unavailable or closed. Either one.
So that's a long way of draft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That works. That's great. Thank you so much.
Sure.
That was my last question.
Marina, your turn.
Hi, thank you. I'm from NorCal NIGP, and I had two questions. We set up an event recently with a video link, and we used an MS Teams link. And when registrants received the confirmation email, the link did not work for them. But when we sent them the link outside of the, the ClubExpress email notification, it
Mhm.
still worked for them. And so I'm wondering,
It must have gotten
maybe something
truncated or
with,
something, huh?
sorry, what?
It must have gotten truncated or something. Was it on this
Okay,
show
so
tell
it would
share?
normally work.
Yeah, it should absolutely
Okay.
work. So if we go to location, oh my gosh, that doesn't look like a valid.
It was just like a Teams meeting link,
Yeah,
and
look at all this extra information at the end of it.
Mhm.
I'm not sure that's a valid Teams meeting link.
I see. Okay, maybe I just copied it in too fast and didn't like notice it. Maybe it wasn't
I
the
I
right
think
one or
there's a lot
something.
of extra content in here that isn't valid.
Okay. Okay, thank you for letting me know and for confirming that people normally can use a MS Teams link in this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I had
Yep.
one other question about the document library.
Okay. Yeah.
We were able to set it up, but I was wondering, is there a way to maybe make it look different visually? Like, can I edit this page, or because I want to send, members to this page to like look at our meeting materials and stuff, but if they're not logged in, it just looks kind of blank. And so
So
I'm wondering, do I have to make a custom page and like link everything?
this is what they're going to see, right? This is the user interface of the
Right.
document library. If they're not seeing anything at all, then that means the permissions are not set so that they can't see anything. That's more of a permissions issue. But if you want, you can certainly create a custom page and link a bunch of documents to it. But that's an awful lot of extra work.
Right.
So I would look at your folder settings, and it looks like if like the bylaws folder is set for members of a committee. So if they're not on that committee, they're not going to be able to see it.
Okay.
Same thing with if we go to board, let's see, members of the committee is just board, so they won't see that. Treasurer records, oops. Cancel that. Treasurer records is all users in public, so they should see that.
Even when they're not logged in. Okay.
Oh yeah, because that's a public folder.
Okay.
And then
Maybe
if we
because there's no
but,
documents in it. Because like
oh yeah,
I would like to
it
direct
would help
people.
if there were documents.
Okay. Just double checking. We're just kind of barely getting it set up, so I was just wondering how like the interface was and everything.
Yeah,
But
and then this one's members only, so you're not going to see
right.
it.
So like
Yeah.
I guess so our director wanted like the documents private, and you have to log in as a member, but when members are directed to this page, they're not necessarily automatically logged in. So the page can look like, I guess, it doesn't have anything on it.
Sure.
And I guess
that's exactly what will happen. Yeah.
okay. And so basically my workaround was that I kind of made an empty folder that was titled "Please log in," but
I
it
think
just kind of
that's
looked kind of not
I think
great.
that's a cool idea. Yeah.
Okay, I
Members,
guess I was
please
just
log
wondering if
in
there
or
was an
something like that.
alternative, but I guess we'll just look at the folder setup a little more. That was all.
You know what we could do also,
Mhm.
if we go to control panel and go to configure and we go to document library and we set it to members only and click save. Now what happens is I'm going to log out. And if I go to the document library, let's see,
It
do we have any
should be, if you
documents?
scroll down on the homepage, it should be linked a little further down. Right there.
There, document library. So if I try to access it now, it says I have to log in first.
Oh, perfect. That's actually perfect. Thank you so much.
Yep, you're welcome.
That was all. Thank you.
And then when I
Carolyn, you
finally
have
log
your
in,
hand up. Yeah.
there, now I can see everything.
Awesome.
Hi, how are
Carolyn.
you?
Hello.
So I had a quick question. We sent out our newsletter, but when the members click into, and it's kind of along the lines of what she just had, when they're clicking into that newsletter, they're being required to sign in, but we don't want them to have to sign in.
Then what are they clicking on? Are they clicking on event links? Are they clicking on documents?
Like we send the blast out through email, so then they'll click on the link to our newsletter right in the email.
Which chapter are you with?
Oh, New York Stampo.
So your newsletter, is it like a PDF newsletter that people are clicking on the emailing to get to?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a look at where it's stored in the document library. Under newsletters, I'm assuming?
But yes.
Okay, so we'll look at the permissions of newsletters, and it's set for members only. That's why they're being required to log in.
Okay.
So the only way for the system to verify that they're members is to have them log in.
Okay.
So if we set it to public, then they won't be required to log in.
Oh, okay. We will do
Do you
that.
want me to go ahead and set it?
Yes, please.
Got it. And then let's take a look at the document itself. And the document is also set for members only, so that will have to be changed to public as well.
Okay.
I'll let you do that because, it's good practice.
All right. Yeah, definitely. And then I had another question.
Yeah.
We had an event recently. Paul Brennan did a class for us, and everybody that registered didn't appear on the list he was given, so that when he sent the link out, not everybody received that link. And it would have been a list that Doug sent him from the back end after everybody registered.
What was the event?
It was a public procurement class. I could make my screen bigger here so I can see. It was just last week. It was on the 4th and 5th. It was like a series of 2 classes.
Local government procurement?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. Let's take a look. So everybody who registered has an email address, so that's good. So you're saying out of these, looks like total of maybe 20 or 22 possibly,
Yeah.
that some of them did not get the emailing.
Yeah.
So if we go to emailings and take a look, I don't see any emailing sent.
Yeah, what happens is Doug will take that list and he'll send it to Paul. He'll export it to Paul, so then Paul can send out a private link just to those people for them to log into the class. And there were members that weren't able to log in because they didn't get that link.
Well, you can do that right here though, and then you're working with the right list.
Okay.
You can do it right here in the emailings list and set the distribution list to everyone registered for this event.
Okay.
But that's just for future. For this one, let's find out what happened. So if we go to how do you know how he exported it? Did he just do an export and say registrant data?
I'm assuming. I'm not sure how Doug exported it.
So let's just say we want paid, right?
Yeah.
I get a list of 14 people. So are there guests on that?
I noticed not everybody said paid.
Oh, because some of
open.
them are open, that's why. So if we do registration status paid, yeah, we get 13 people.
Okay.
Yeah, so that works. That's right.
Okay. So then I'll have to talk to Doug and somehow I think the ones that are open are our scholarship people, so they didn't pay per se, but they're registered for the class. So I'll have to talk to Doug. Maybe we can alternate how he does that, or just mark the scholarship people as paid on the back end so that they end up in the export list.
Well, and this one's an active member too. I don't know if you want to scholarship them, but maybe you do. I don't know. But the problem is that now you have a lot of money that's outstanding waiting to be paid too. So, that's going to drive your treasurer crazy. So yeah, somehow, and I would kind of work this out with your accounting team, but if you want to mark it as written off or forgiven, or however you want to do it.
Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Mike,
Michael, how would you recommend handling scholarships for a registration for an event?
I think scholarships are best handled if you create a discount coupon and just call it, I don't know, the event 123 scholarship or something like that, and make it the value of the scholarship or like if you're offering the entire price, you can say 100%. But if you're just offering $200 towards it, then make it $200. And then give them the code, or you can have your treasurer have the code so that they can, record it properly, or, whoever's registering them can use that code.
Okay.
How you distribute to them is really up to you, but I think, just being able to have a discount coupon is a great way to be able to track it. So your treasurer knows, oh, they use this coupon, we know what's going on.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Valerie, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I have a question about points and events and assigning points and all that other good stuff. I've done it before, but it's been so long, and I went back and I could not figure it out for the life of me.
All right, so come on. Okay, points tracking you're talking about?
Yeah, so let's say for the to lunch and learns, or for the conference we have coming up, we're going to have X amount of contact hours that they can get.
Okay.
So, so
So
could
if
I
you do,
select a one that we've already done because I didn't do it. Pick the lunch and learn from 416. That would work.
okay, got that one. So then you select an activity. It's going to be the lunch and learn, obviously, and then contact hours, and then you enter how many hours.
Which would put 1 in there.
Okay, and then you don't have to do any points. So we're going to do 0 points, and then you click import. Shall I hit it?
Yeah. Okay.
So now it's
Oh.
importing them.
Oh, so you don't have to attach anything specifically to the event. It's just independent, and you can just
Yeah, as long as those members were marked as attended.
Yeah.
Somebody went in and marked the attendance, then their points are being imported right now. Yeah.
Okay. And if we didn't have a marked attended, then I can go back in it later and mark them attended before I run, or is this messed up then?
Yeah. No, yeah,
Oh,
you can go in and mark them as attended.
all
Yeah.
right. Okay, so I was on the right track. I just wasn't going far enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And if we take a look, you can see they should be here, right?
Yep.
Do your part, socially responsible. I think that was the one right there.
Yep. Yep. Correct. I actually have more than that, but I'll have to just go back in and make sure they're all marked in. Okay. Thank
Yep.
you.
You're welcome.
So, Michael, Sean asks about newsletters and that they don't have to be a PDF, but they were thinking of creating a custom page. But another option is using the email module, correct? And how that creates a page as well. Would you be able to show that?
Yeah, let's see. I'm going to use Michigan as an example here. I'm not seeing any newsletters offhand, and that's okay. So if we take a look at this emailing, it looks like, okay, there's some cool formatting in there, so that'll be a good one. Okay, so this is a type of, what's the category? Default category. We're going to check allowed on view email page. And actually, I'm going to select webinar announcements. Now, if we go to the view email page, and this is just so that you can see it, switch to emailing. Oh, we must not have it set up. There's a little bit of configuration. You have to do event categories, and then the categories have to be set for if they're allowable to be viewed.
Yeah.
This one,
Go ahead.
This one's not. I don't know why this is not allowed to be viewed. So maybe
I think
I'll
we
try.
have ours, Michael.
Is there a
which
reason
chapter?
Can we
Why
add,
NIGP?
can we add that on there to do that? I mean, why is it not allowed on our site? I mean, that would be a great tool to have.
It is. It's there. It's just not configured.
So
What was it? What
Okay.
was the chapter again? I'm sorry.
Why NIGP? I think we
Okay.
have it set up. that way.
I think I closed it.
What?
Sorry. So if I go to emailing, click on configure categories. It looks like the only one is event registrants is allowed on the emailing page. So we may want to say, okay, we're going to do announcements. Allowed on email page, save. And then if we go to, and we're going to look at some of your emailings here, and we'll just say, oh, president's message, that's perfect. So I'm going to put it in announcements, make sure it says allowed, click save. And now if I go back to emailing, there it is. That's what your emailing page looks like. Under the category of announcements, you can see the WA and NIGP new president's message, click on read more, and now I can read the message. So a lot of our other types of organizations use these for their newsletters, and this works great for them, and the system automatically archives them. But not everyone uses it. So
No, and where would members access that?
oh, we just put it on your menu somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah, if we just go to control panel, go to website, go to menus, and let's say we want it under the I don't know, maybe education and events. So we'll edit education and events, and we're going to go to, it's called emailing. And now if we go to education events, click on emailing, it takes us to that page.
And you can change the title of that to make it newsletters if you wanted,
Absolutely.
right? Or
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or what, you know, but the ones who do it really successfully, what they do is they will create a category and they'll call it newsletters. So if we do, instead of announcements, we'll just call it newsletter. Well, you know what? We'll just create a new one and we'll call it newsletters.
Yes,
If you
please.
wanted,
Go
you
ahead.
could go to. If you wanted, you could go to the Columbia chapter one and we could create it. But I'm going to go there now and create that.
Okay.
So Michael, what happens to our newsletter page? Because we do have one right now. It's getting a little crowded. So I would love to have just this.
Yeah, I would then just
Can you,
take it
it's
off
I
the menu.
think under, yeah, definitely. Yeah, right there.
Where is it?
Oh, member benefits.
There it is,
Yeah.
newsletters. There it is.
Yep. And you can see it's wonky looking there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
and it's a pain in the butt to maintain. So
Yeah, I love this. Yes.
so let's go
We'll
to
show
menus then. We'll go to, it was under member benefits, right? Yeah, member benefits.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
We're going to get rid of newsletters, pop it back over here, and we'll put, and we're just calling it emailing for now. We can take it off of this one if we want, off of education and events. Okay, so now if we go to emailing, you can see the newsletter, you can see the announcements.
Very slick.
Yeah.
The
Cool.
advantage of doing it this way is that you're creating your email and sending it out to your members, and this automatically places it on the page, so you're not doing double work. So
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This might be a silly question. Can I ask one?
Yeah, silly questions are allowed.
Silly question. So I'm gonna go set it up and show our newsletter people this is a way to do it. I'm sure they might say, sure, let's do it that way. So let's say we have a new member, then they could go back and see the old newsletters. If we said, hey, go read this article from June when they became a member in September, and they could still access it on the website, even though they didn't get the email.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just confirming. Okay.
Yeah, they'll all be here as long as you allow them to be. You know, it may get to the point where this page fills up and you have pages and pages that are full of it, and you may want to start taking some off. And you can do that just by going into the emailing manager, and you can say, well, I think I want to archive everything that's prior to a certain date. And you can do that. You know, there's actually an option in here to mass email archive, and you can just say archive everything prior to 2023.
Okay. Thank you. I want to know about
Sure.
that. Thank you.
Yep.
So Stacy asks, how do you send a short video to all email addresses?
You're gonna need to, videos are kind of a pain because you can't send the video itself. You can set a link to a video. Just put the video on YouTube, and send the link using a YouTube link. That's the cleanest way. YouTube has put in an a lot of coding and time to create videos and present videos in ways that reformat for people's different displays. We don't do that.
Yeah, okay.
They have pretty much set the standard. We're not going to try and come close to that.
For sure. I also have used Canva, I think before in the previous one. Is that pretty easy to, or no, you would advise against Canva's public view video?
I don't know. I've never played with it, actually. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, experiment with it. What the heck?
Okay.
So one thing we do at NIGP, when I send out emails with a video in it, I will snip the front of the video, just snip it with a picture and then put that picture into the email and then link that picture. So it looks like somebody is clicking on the image to view the video.
Perfect. And then I wanted to know how I know our chapter president wants to be sure to start the undertaking of transferring all of our forms to digital, fillable forms housed on our website.
Okay.
Had you already gone through that process? I know I joined a little late.
The ad hoc forms module is where you're going to do it. It's under communications. And if it's not enabled in your website, then click on configure.
Okay.
And if it's not enabled, it'll be down here at the bottom and you can enable it.
Okay.
And then when you enable it, you're going to have this module here called ad hoc forms.
I do. I see it.
You'll just click on add form and you'll set up the questions, just like almost like the questions are going to be similar to like additional member data questions or event questions. The formats are very similar.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Sean, you have your hand up. Do you have a question?
No, I forgot to take it down.
Not a problem. Okay, so I do want to take one moment to mention Friday's training session. If you haven't registered and signed up to attend the session, there is still time. I can put the information in chat. This is covering the communications tab, so we'll cover the news and articles. As well as more advanced email techniques. So if you do want to attend, I will put that information into the chat. Also, Michael and I have been meeting and discussing. Michael will be in person at Forum in Charlotte, and we will be conducting training sessions and question sessions on Saturday, the 24th, starting at 1 p.m. And then Sunday for a lunch and learn. And then on one-on-one consultations in the afternoon on Sunday. So I will be sending out information to you all and also a registration so that we know, for instance, if you're planning to attend the lunch and learn, we need to make sure we provide you a lunch and that kind of thing. So I will send out more information as we have it, but just to give you a heads up that is coming. So we have about 10 minutes left. I don't know if anybody has a question. Let's see, something popped up in chat. Let's see. Can you demo how to add the emailing to the website one more time?
Oh, sure. If we go to control panel, website tab, click on menus, everything, when you're trying to add things up here, everything is done through menus. And then I like to add it to submenus just to keep my menus clean. So let's say we want to add it to education and events. We click on the pencil and by default, it's called emailing. And you're just going to select it, pop it over to the right-hand side, click save, and it'll actually appear there under that menu option now.
So we can't
So,
rename emailing, right, Michael?
You
It's
can.
just,
You
I
certainly
can?
can.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The problem with that is that emailing is used for all of your email communications, right? It's
Right.
so we can certainly do that if we go into, like, I did this kind of quickly, but communications, click on configure, and then go down to emailing, and then we can change the menu text and we can call it
Perfect.
newsletters if you want. The problem is that if you go and try to add it, you just have to remember that it's called newsletters.
Mhm.
And then if I go
Got
and
it.
click on it here, it's called newsletter. It's
Right.
already changed, and it goes to the emailing module.
Okay. Great. That works.
Yes. But there's other communications in here too, right? There's announcements. So I mean, how do you create something that's a catch-all? I don't know. Maybe newsletters and announcements? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then we have chapter news too. So it's like we are kind of duplicating all our announcements everywhere just to
Yeah.
see, depends on the audience, right? Where they
Sure.
like to go.
So you might just want to call it chapter communications or something.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds great. Thank you.
And then
We always
just
love to
click
be
on-
a guinea, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So with Georgia and NIGP, I wanted to understand the person who managed. I want our chapter's websites to look a lot like the national. I know that takes a lot of hours, right? I wanted to see if there was kind of a like a template that they use, and maybe a schedule that they use to update their websites. We don't have to have all the courses and everything, but how their main page and maybe 2 or 3 sub pages.
Are you talking about
The main NIGP website?
So
we don't.
I'm
Yeah, go ahead, Ronnie.
Yeah, I maintain that, right? So I'm happy to jump on a call with you if you'd like to talk. We don't necessarily, it is a completely separate system. We don't use ClubExpress, so some of it would definitely be some differences there, but I'm happy to jump on a call with you if you'd like to discuss what it is that you're trying to achieve with your site.
Awesome.
Just
I'll
let
send you
me
an email,
know.
Ronnie.
Perfect.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Sure. Are there any other questions? I don't see anything. I think, Michael, we don't have much time left really to get into anything else. So since we don't have any more questions, I guess hopefully I will see most to all of you on Friday at our training session with Devin from ClubExpress. Devin has been our trainer for quite a few training sessions. He's fabulous. So looking forward to that. Otherwise, we will do this again in 2 weeks' time on the 4th Tuesday of June. That one will be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And I appreciate you all. Thank you, Michael, for your time. And I appreciate everyone for attending.
Yeah, thank you all
Thank
for
you
coming.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.